بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد
The merciful, the compassionate, all praises to Allah, the creator of the universes and their sustainer, the provider of believers and unbelievers, and may his choicest blessings be on the seal of his prophets, the last of his messengers, and his holy progeny, and in particular may his spatial, ever-flowing blessings be on the immediate successor to the Holy Prophet, on Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Before I commence talking on the subject we have been discussing and catching up with yesterday, I have been asked to make a special announcement, which I should have made yesterday, but I was not fully informed of all the facts which are at hand this evening, that a group of youths have published a translation into English of the book Manazil al-Akhirah. It is on sale from this evening, and I for my part would have no hesitation whatsoever in recommending a study of that book. Indeed, I have for long been wishing that it be translated into English, because it is a book that contains considerable material on the hereafter. As the book says itself, it is on stations of the hereafter, Manazil al-Akhirah, stations of the hereafter, or steps to the hereafter if you like, and contains a vivid description by that eminent scholar of ours, Sheikh Abbas Kummi, on the various stages. But what I always found very interesting about that book was, the original is in Farsi, but it's now got into English. What I always found interesting about that book was, not only does it state what those stations are, and some of those stations, I agree, are frightful stations, but it contains the solutions to those problems. It contains information of how we can overcome how we can overcome those difficulties at those particular stations. So for your information, that book will be available for sale from this evening onwards, inshallah. Yesterday, when we paused to get into Masaib, we were discussing the salutary words of the Holy Prophet to Imam Ali alayhi salam, that you are to me in the station that Aaron had to Moses, that Nabi Harun had to Nabi Musa. And I was discussing the contents of Sahih Muslim when I was pointing out to you the statements made in the footnote by the translator of Sahih Muslim on the particular significance of that particular statement of the Holy Prophet. And I was submitting, as you would recall, that merely the Prophet saying that you are to me in that position means that you will be a successor. Because if it did not mean that, the Holy Prophet would have said so, as much as he did say that you will not be a prophet. You will be a successor. That there would be a successor, no Muslim can say the Holy Prophet did not know. Because there was a successor, and there had to be a successor logically. Who that successor would be was the only question outstanding. And what status would he have? He was called a Khalifa. We call them Imams. But the Holy Prophet surely knew there would be some succession. The fact that he would say that there will be no prophet after me, without saying that you will not be a successor, must imply that as much as Harun succeeded Musa, so would Imam Ali alayhi salam succeed him. But I made a point that there was another reference in Sahih Muslim which I wanted to bring to your notice from a number of angles. It's useful to me from a number of angles. The first hadith in Sahih Muslim that I brought to your attention yesterday was from Amir bin Sa'ad bin Abi Waqas. The second also is from Sa'ad bin Abi Waqas himself. Now the father himself says that Allah's messenger, may peace be upon him, left Ali ibn Abi Talib behind him to the expedition of Tabuk, whereupon he, that is Imam Ali alayhi salam, said, Allah's messenger, are you leaving me behind amongst women and children? Thereupon the Holy Prophet said, aren't you satisfied with being unto me what Aaron was unto Moses, but with this exception, that there would be no prophet after me. So you can now see the hadith reported by the father himself. This is indeed the father of Umar ibn Sa'd, the leader of Yazid's army in Karbala. The next hadith is the one that I really wanted to put to you from a number of angles. This hadith, and I'm reading from Sahih Muslim, has been narrated on the authority of Shu'bah with the same chain of transmitters. Amir bin Sa'ad bin Abi Waqas reported on the authority of his father that Muawiyah bin Abu Sufyan appointed Sa'ad as governor and said, what prevents you from abusing Abu Talib, that is Imam Ali alayhi salam. As you are aware, and perhaps we will discuss it in the post-Ashura sittings, that the sunnah that Muawiyah started was that in khutbahs of the day of Jum'ah, like today, in the khutbah, Imam Ali alayhi salam, ma'azallah, would be cursed. Today, of course, we are being told that we shouldn't curse at all. But that was a sunnah that has not been condemned. But Sa'ad bin Abi Waqas would not curse Imam Ali alayhi salam in his khutbahs. He was the governor, so he would deliver a khutbah. But even otherwise, khutbah or not, he would not curse Imam Ali alayhi salam. So Muawiyah asks him, Ma mana'aka, what prevents you from doing so? Now listen to the reply he gives, whereupon he said, it is because of three things, not even one, of three things which I remember Allah's messenger, peace be upon him, having said about him, that I would not abuse him. And even if I find one of those three things for me, it would be more dear to me than the red camels. Do you remember 2 nights back we discussed the hadith from Umar ibn Khattab, and he said, Imam Ali got three things. If I got only one of those three, I would consider them far more valuable than well-bred camels. Red camels. Red camels in those days were considered to be perhaps the most precious of things that you can possibly own. Those three things you will see are different from these three things that Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas mentions. He says, I heard Allah's Messenger, may peace be upon him, that Ali, as he left him behind him in one of his campaigns, that was Tabuk, Ali said to him, Allah's Messenger, you leave me behind along with women and children. You can see very close similarity with what the son reported, or even his own report. Thereupon Allah's Messenger said to him, aren't you satisfied with being unto me what Aaron was unto Moses, but with this exception that there is no prophethood after me? If I may pause here before going to the second reason, only to make one point. Yesterday we saw the footnote. The footnote suggested that the reference to Aaron and Moses was only the reference to the fact that Aaron was a cousin of Moses. Well, perhaps he wasn't. Perhaps they were full brothers. But that's not our point in issue at the moment. The contention is that they were cousins, and Ali and the Holy Prophet were cousins. If that was all that was involved, would that stop Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas from cursing Imam Ali alayhi salam? That would be no reason for cursing him, because cousins they were since birth. Cousins, you cannot choose your cousins. They are with you from your birth. That again shows that the interpretation given by that in that footnote cannot be logically sound. However, the second reason is, and I also heard him say on the day of Khaybar, so you can see what we are talking about, لِيَعْطِيَنَّ رَايَةً غَدًا is the hadith that is quoted here. I would certainly give this standard to a person who loves Allah and His Messenger, and Allah and His Messenger love him too. He, the narrator, said, we have been anxiously waiting for it. When the Holy Prophet said, call Ali, he was cold and his eyes were inflamed. He applied, that is the Holy Prophet, applied saliva to his eyes and handed over the standard to him, and Allah gave him victory. I just wish to remind you of the statement of Allama Hilli at this stage, that if that is acknowledged, that the Holy Prophet said about Imam Ali alayhi salam, that he was a person not only who loved Allah and the Holy Prophet, but also that Allah and the Holy Prophet loved him, that by itself is adequate certificate that any companion could have wished to receive, not only for his salvation, but for his competence and qualification to lead the Ummah after the Holy Prophet. Indeed, needless to add, that there has not been another companion of the Holy Prophet of whom the Holy Prophet said that Allah is pleased with him. However, the third matter that Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas mentions is this. The third occasion is this: when the following verse was revealed, let us summon our children and your children. That is the ayah of Mubahala. That is indeed the ayah of Mubahala. فَمَنْ حَاجَّكَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ فَقُلْ تَعَالُوا نَدْعُوا أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَنِسَاءَنَا وَنِسَاءَكُمْ وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ وَجَعَلَ لَعْنَةُ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. That ayah, when it was revealed, the Holy Prophet became obliged to ask the Christians of Najran to call themselves, their children, and their nufus themselves, and he to take himself and his children and those and his ladies, and call the ladies of the opposite side and have a mubahala. In other words, call upon for the wrath of Allah. I do not propose to discuss the details of that particular event because they are known to you. I will revert to it in due course only to show the excellence of Imam Ali alayhi salam. For the moment, to remind you that that is the incident to which Abi Waqqas refers, that the Christians came and the verse was, let us summon our children and your children. Now this is what Sahih Muslim writes. Allah's messenger, may peace be upon him, called Ali, Fatima, Hassan and Hussein and said, "Oh Allah, they are my family." No longer are we talking about Majlisi saying that or Shaykh Abbas Kummi saying that. Sahih Muslim, on the authority of the father of the murderer of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, said Imam Hussein was one of them. 5 people were summoned. Command was from Allah. It was not a political move. It was not diplomacy. It was not administering the affairs of the state. It was fulfilling. قُلْ تَعَالُوا نَدْعُوا أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ. You can see the words of Allah in that particular verse are obligatory. They are mandatory. They are a command on him, and he must have fulfilled. Indeed, everybody says, a number of authorities say that he did. Sahih Muslim reports it in so many words, and sets out exactly the verse, and in the footnote mentions that this was the Mubahala, and it was called to determine the question of whether Nabi Isa was a son of God or was he a prophet of God. And in the last two sentences of this footnote, the same person whose footnote we considered last night says this: when the most convincing arguments could not bring them round, Allah proposed a trial by prayer, that is Mubahala. In this trial, the Holy Prophet summoned the most dear ones of his kith and kin, and they are Ali, Fatima, Hassan and Hussein. Sufficient for me that it is recognized that they are the most dear of his kith and kin, because the order of Quran is that to those dear to the Holy Prophet by way of kith and kin, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. I do not seek any reward from you on the command of Allah except love, reverence for those who are dear to me by way of kith and kin, qurba. And that is exactly the expression used here in the footnote. I know not whether it's deliberately used or not, but they are used, and to that extent proves the case that those are the people to be revered. This shows the love of the Holy Prophet, may peace be upon him, and his feeling of close relationship with them. But we will go a step further than that when we come to discuss Mubahala this evening, inshallah. So you can see the status of Imam Ali alayhi salam in the mouths of those who opposed him. What Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas did with Imam Ali alayhi salam, we shall discuss inshallah on the 13th eve, on the 12th eve of Muharram. In our post-Muharram sittings, we will discuss what he says. The purpose of saying that is to say that it is not a friend making that statement to Muawiyah, and that statement has been made to Muawiyah. Indeed, when we discuss the Sunnite sources on the question of Tabuk, and the authenticity of this particular important verse attributed to the Holy Prophet, we see that no less a person, and I should move to that straight away, no less a person than Ibn Abi al-Hadith. He, as I have already said before, is one of the leading, perhaps the most leading commentator on Nahjul Balagha. Indeed, his commentary on Nahjul Balagha runs into about 17 volumes. A Sunnite by faith, and remains so. And he says in his commentary of Nahjul Balagha in volume 8, at page 24, he says, فَقَدْ كَانَ مُعَاوِيَةَ حَاضِرًا يَوْمَ الْغَدِيرِ. On the day of Ghadir, Muawiyah was present. لأنه حج معهم حجة الوداع وقد كان أيضا حاضرا يوم تبوك حين قال له بمحضر من الناس كافة أنت مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى. Ibn Abi Hadith says Muawiyah was present on the day of Ghadir when the Holy Prophet proclaimed Imam Ali as a Mawla. And we will come to that inshallah if possible this evening, because I do want to chase up so that we finish with Medina affairs this evening, and tomorrow, if we don't reach today, discuss that great excellence of Imam Ali alayhi salam in the unique opportunity he had on the burial of the Holy Prophet. It has a significance by itself that he should have been the one to prepare and undertake the burial of the Holy Prophet. So inshallah, if time permits, we will cover Ghadir tonight so that we can move on to the burial of the Prophet tomorrow. But you can see that Ibn Abi Hadid confirms the presence of Muawiyah in Ghadir. Suffice it for me to say this now. In the post-Ashura gatherings, we will see the significance of this. But he says that he was also present in Tabuk when, in the presence of an entire gathering, the Holy Prophet announced this in respect of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Bukhari has mentioned this particular statement, as we saw. Hakim has mentioned in his Mustadrak, quoting the hadith from Sa'ad bin Abi Waqas, and that hadith has also been reported by Nisa'i. Now, Bukhari and Nisa'i are the Sahih Sitta of the Sahih Sitta. Those 6 whose narrations are accepted as authentic are not to be questioned by the Sunnite people. They are authentic sources of the Sunnite faith. He too has quoted it, Nisa'i, from another source another source also, and these are in his book Khasais. Ibn al-Athir has reported this particular hadith also, again from the same source, in Jami al-Usul min Ahadith al-Rasul in volume 9. And if we move on, Ahmad bin Hanbal, and I have mentioned him so often now, he too has reported this particular hadith with exactly the same words. أما ترضى أن تكون مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى. That report is contained in his Musnad in volume 1 at page 173. Again, it is also reported by him on the authority, another narrator altogether, not Ibn Abi Waqas, Ibn Sa'ad bin Malik, well-known commentator, well accepted as an authentic narrator in the Sunnite sources. And yet another narrator through whom Ahmad bin Hanbal reports this particular incident is Jabir bin Abdullah. That is Jabir bin Abdullah Ansari, and that report is in, again, his Musnad in volume 3. So you can see that this particular hadith is not only well reported, but well recognized as an authentic source, sufficient to make the commentator on Sahih Muslim to make a comment about it. Well, let us move on then from Tabuk. And the next thing that I want to put to you in considering the biography of Imam Ali alayhi salam, which I cannot refrain from saying because of its importance, is the delivery of Surah Tawbah to the people of Makkah, Surah Al-Barat. When those verses were revealed, and we've discussed this in greater detail last year, so I will not take your time, only to say this, that when those verses were revealed so that the Holy Prophet abrogates his treaty with the Meccans, the Holy Prophet delivered those verses to Abu Bakr, and this is well reported in Sunnite sources. It is reported in Tirmizi, it's reported in Ibn Hisham, it's reported by Ibn Athir, authorities we considered last year. And after Abu Bakr left Medina, Jibreel descends to the Holy Prophet and says, "Oh, Messenger of Allah, these are weighty verses which Allah commands that either they be delivered by you yourself personally, or be delivered by, according to Ibn Hisham, a member of your family." Indeed, according to Tirmizi and according to Nisa'i, again, these both are of the Sahih Sitta. According to them, the words of the Prophet were that he was ordered that either he should deliver them himself or that they be delivered by Ali salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Well, when Imam Ali was sent on this mission, he immediately set out so that he reaches Makkah before Abu Bakr reaches Makkah, only so that the command of Allah is fulfilled. And when he reaches Makkah, when he catches up with Abu Bakr on the way before reaching Makkah, he explains the situation to Abu Bakr, who then says, I am surprised, but if this is what you say, well, you deliver the verses. And Imam Ali alayhi salam gives him two options. He says, either you come along with me and we deliver these verses together, or if you do not wish to come with me, then you may return to Medina at your option. He prefers to return to Medina immediately, and on return, he confronts the Holy Prophet. He says, Ali has told me this, and the Holy Prophet said that is absolutely correct. He says, I want to know whether this has been done by you on your own accord or on the command of Allah, because you trusted me. You handed this mission to me. How is it that halfway you withdrew it from me? One might have thought that was a question that was not becoming to be put before the Holy Prophet. However, it was. And the instantaneous reply from the Holy Prophet was that I sent you of my choice. But the command from Allah was that either I should deliver it personally, or I should deliver it, as I said, either through a member of the family or through Ali only. Now you can see for yourselves the excellence of Imam Ali alayhi salam on that occasion, that upon the order and command of Allah, and this is well reported by Sunnite sources, the importance of those verses was such that Allah himself determined that a certain person should not deliver them, but a certain person should. And indeed, when Imam Ali alayhi salam got to Makkah, he recited those verses to the Makkans and gave them the three orders we discussed last year, that henceforth you will not be able to enter Makkah if you are infidels. Unless you are Muslims, you cannot enter the holy mosque at all, because they were performing their rites, as you know, in the days of Jahiliyyah, and continued to do so after Hijrah, because they were left to themselves. And you will not be able to make your tawaf in the manner in which you do. You will only be allowed to make tawaf if you are a Muslim, and in the manner prescribed by the Holy Prophet, and those rites of paganism that you were conducting must all cease instantaneously. Accord made with the Holy Prophet will remain in existence for a limited period, and after that will be a matter for decision of the Holy Prophet as to how he deals with them. The Makkans unquestionably accepted all those commands and began to act accordingly. That was the excellence of Imam Ali alayhi salam on divine revelation in respect of the delivery of the chapter of Barat. But another thing I wish to put to you, not only because I have to as a matter of excellence, but for reasons that will become relevant post Ashura, and we will save our time discussing those then, is the campaign against the people of Wadi al-Ramal, known in history as the campaign of Dhat al-Silsila, or Dhat al-Silsal, as you like. Both of those expressions have been used. That was an episode in which Bedouins, Arabs, came to the Holy Prophet, explaining him that they have intelligence, that Arabs have gathered in the valley of Ramal, Wadi al-Ramal, and they have gathered there so that they attack Medina, they attack the Holy Prophet, and cause disruption in the cause of Islam. The Holy Prophet immediately therefore summoned the Muslims and asked who would be prepared to go and fight them before they attack Islam. And the first battalion that was sent out, and this is reported in Rawdatul Safa, it is also reported in a number of other Sunnite source books. The first person sent out with the battalion was Abu Bakr. He took a battalion, went down the valley, but as he was going down the valley, the Arabs of that valley came forward, attacked his people, repulsed him, and made him flee. He goes back to the Holy Prophet saying, we have been defeated, we have come back without being able to kill the enemies. The Holy Prophet was not only pained, but he was concerned, because here are enemies who wish to attack Islam and are now showing their greater force. Soon after that, he decided he will send another battalion, and he sent Umar with a battalion. Again, that battalion came back saying, we have been repulsed by the people of Wadi al-Raml. The Holy Prophet then decided to sit and think how we should maneuver the situation. In the meantime, Amr bin As, who by now had already converted to Islam, came forward and said, "Oh Holy Prophet, matters of war are matters of deception." And we will see when we discuss Siffin how the deception of Amr bin As was involved entirely in that particular maneuvering in that field. And Abu Bakr and Umar may just have fought battles, but stand me so that I am able to exercise my ability and win this war. And the Holy Prophet said, "Very well, you go." He went, he too was repulsed and came back. And when he too was repulsed, the Holy Prophet prayed to Allah and decided he will only send Imam Ali alayhi salam for this particular mission. And so Imam Ali alayhi salam was sent. He asked anybody who wanted to join him to join him. And Umar and Abu Bakr and Amr bin As were also sent, because there were people now with some experience in the matter. Imam Ali alayhi salam did not take the ordinary course. He moved as though he was going towards Iraq, and then turned into the valley so that he entered through the entrance of the valley. And when Amr bin As saw this, that there was this particular route unknown to them, and a route beautifully taken by Imam Ali alayhi salam, he turns to Abu Bakr and said, "Now Ali will obtain success because of the maneuver that he has taken." And Amr bin As had already called himself a deceiver. So he says to Abu Bakr, says, "You must go and tell Ali that whilst this place to which he has brought us is beautiful, and we will secure victory over the people of this valley, this place I know very well is inhabited by hyenas and wolves. And if wolves and hyenas attack us, it will be more difficult for us to defend ourselves against them than against the people of Raml." Abu Bakr comes and conveys the message to Imam Ali alayhi salam, who does not utter a single word in response. So Abu Bakr comes back and says to Amr bin As, "This is the response, not a word said in reply." Amr bin As says, "Well, let us send Umar." Umar goes and speaks to Imam Ali in identical terms, not a word given in reply. Amr bin As goes himself, not a word given in reply. Just then there is dawn, and after Fajr prayers, Imam Ali alayhi salam orders an attack, and the entire valley was surrounded by the people of the garrison of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and Islam had its conquest over the people of Wadi al-Raml. Those killed were gone, those who survived became Muslims. The Holy Prophet remained in Medina, and we get from Salma that suddenly during his afternoon siesta, he wakes up a little frightened. So Salma says, "May Allah protect his messenger, and Allah will protect you." What wakes you up? He says, "I have just received the revelation of Surah Adiyat, wal Adiyati Dhabha, chapter 100 in the Holy Book." That chapter is revealed to the Holy Prophet on that occasion, and he says to Salma, "O Salma, Ali is coming victorious from Wadi al-Raml." He is coming victorious from Wadi al-Raml. History records that as Imam Ali alayhi salam was now going back to Medina, seeing the Holy Prophet as always, he immediately dismounted from his horse. And just as he dismounted from the horse, the prophetic command was, "Ali, get back to your horse and come to me riding on your horse, because Allah has sent me a revelation that He is pleased with you and His Prophet, His messenger is pleased with you." History records that Imam Ali's response to that, as was known before, was sitting on his horseback. He was crying out of joy that that effort in the path of Allah was accepted. That was the eminence with which Imam Ali alayhi salam was treated. And commentaries on Surah Al-Adiyat clearly mention that that surah was revealed on that particular occasion. That then is the position in respect of the status of Imam Ali alayhi salam in the lifetime of the Holy Prophet. And then follows the occasion of Mubahala. The occasion of Mubahala is well known to you, and I will not spend time discussing it again. Reference to it was already made from Sahih Muslim, and it has been reported in numerous Sunnite sources. What is painful, however, in respect of Mubahala is that there is a very small section of the Ummah, just the Shiites, if I may say so, who celebrate that occasion as an occasion of Eid. That was an occasion on which, through argument, through reason, Islam obtained its supremacy over Christianity. An occasion which one would have thought all Muslims would like to rejoice with greatest of celebrations, because that was the success that Islam obtained. And without shedding blood at all against the Christians of Najran, followed by a number of Christians, because after Mubahala, as we saw last year, a number of Christian settlements brought faith to Islam. Yet, it is not given prominence. If it is not given prominence because the people selected were the Ahlul Bayt, that is even a greater misfortune. Because then, when the order of Allah is that Muslims should love those whom the Prophet loved, that order also is not fulfilled, because the command of Allah clearly was that we should love those whom the Prophet loved. I cited a few nights back the hadith from Jabir, which we recite so constantly as Hadith Kisa, in which the reference is made to the statement of the Holy Prophet regarding the five under Kisa, saying, "Lahmuhum lahmi wa damuhum dami." To that extent was the close affinity between them. But the point of significance that I wish to make is this, that whether Muslims decide to celebrate that occasion or not, what that occasion does establish beyond question, it establishes the proof of the sincerity of Ahlul Bayt and their faith. And it also provides evidence of the status they hold in the eyes of Allah. If the Holy Prophet was ordered by Allah that قُلْ تَعَالُوا نَدُوا أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ, you call your children, we call our children. وَنِسَاءَنَا وَنِسَاءَكُمْ, we call our women, you call your women. وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ, we call ourselves and you call yourselves. ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ, and then we have a trial by prayer. وَنَجْعَلْ لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ, and we seek the help of Allah. We pray to Allah that He should curse those who are liars. The argument, of course, all the time was, what is the status of Nabi Isa alayhi salam? The Christians of Najran were saying to the Holy Prophet, look, how can you deny this? You agree that Isa was only born of Maryam. He didn't have a father. So who can he be other than Son of God? Answer, of course, is in Quran. مَثَلُ آدَمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ مَثَلُ إِيسَى عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ آدَمَ خَلَقَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ وَقَالَ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونَ. The example, Quran says, of Isa is like the example of Adam. We created him from earth, and then we ordered him be, and he became. Indeed, one would say, Isa at least had a mother and was born by natural delivery. How was Adam born? Adam neither had a mother nor a father. Ma'adallah, will you ascribe a mother to Hazrat Adam as well? But that was the, and hence, you notice this particular ayah starts with the words, فَمَنْ حَاجَّكَ مِنْكُمْ بَعْدَ مَا جَاءَكُمْ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ. If they still continue to argue with you after you have received this knowledge, then tell them, you bring your children and family and we'll bring ours, and then we have a mubahala. The purpose of setting out this background is that here was a question of a controversy between the two religions now, and it was to be resolved by calling certain people. In other words, the Holy Prophet, in order to succeed, would have to call those people, only those people, whose sincerity in faith was so deep that it exhumed out of them. Put in other words, it overflowed from them. Because unless it overflowed, unless that sincerity of faith, unless that firm conviction was so deep that it could not be contained in themselves and overflowed from them, from their body into the outer appearance, the Christians would not have been able to notice it. Indeed, the tragedy was Muslims could not notice it. If Muslims themselves until that day were unable to notice it, how do you expect the Christians to notice it? Hence, it became necessary that such people be taken, whose conviction in faith, whose sincerity in Tawheed in the sense that Allah does not have a son, He does not beget, nor is He begotten, lam yalid wa lam yulad. Indeed, in this very battle of Wadi Raml, in which, after which the Surah Adiyat was revealed, when Imam Ali alayhi salam came back, companions asked him, they said, what surah were you asked the other companions, if Imam Ali alayhi salam was leading prayers, what surah was he reciting in Salah? Somebody thought it would be said that he was reciting Surah Adiyat, and the answer given was that he always recited Surah Tawheed in his Salah. One companion went to Imam Ali alayhi salam and asked, why were you reciting Surah Tawheed? And he says, that is the surah that is most beloved to me. That is the surah that depicts, enunciates and establishes the Tawheed of Allah. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ Allahu Samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. No similarity with him at all. Wa in kashif al-ghita, that is perhaps the hadith we will also consider when we consider the piety of Imam Ali alayhi salam in the post-Ashura sittings. That is what the Holy Prophet set out to prove, that Allah has no children. He neither begets nor is He begotten. And for that occasion He picked these particular people. Just as I said that in Khaybar, when the Holy Prophet said, tomorrow the flag will go to such and such a person, companions came forward longing to be the people to be selected for that function, for that particular occasion. So did they for Mubahala. He said, tomorrow morning we will go for Mubahala. He set out Salman in advance to prepare the canopy under which the Ahlul Bayt were to sit. And whilst I mentioned that expression, Ahlul Bayt, and all these controversies that arise as to who constitute Ahlul Bayt, particularly because of the verse in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ أَنْكُمُ الرِّجْزَ أَهْلُ الْبَيْتِ وَطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. So who are Ahlul Bayt? May I just say in passing, because that expression came in, that the reference we saw in Sahih Muslim clearly says that these five are the Ahlul Bayt. So you can see that proof of who are Ahlul Bayt is contained in Sahih Muslim in respect of these five who went to Mubahala. And the reference there was under the discussion of Mubahala. He sent Salman in advance, saying, you go and build the canopy, and we will follow later in the day. So Salman is now excluded, and other companions had hope. All of them set out. The fact that the Holy Prophet chose these particular ones to go with him establishes beyond question that even when Hassan is a little boy, and inshallah If Allah so wills, we will discuss his biography next year, inshallah. And Imam Hussein was still younger. They were the people to constitute the children. And Imam Ali alayhi salam was the person to constitute the nafs of the Holy Prophet. Can there be, I ask, a successor to the Holy Prophet more eligible to that station and position than one whom, in compliance with the order of Allah, whom, in satisfying the provision in the holy verse, the Holy Prophet should have chosen as his nafs? And that is the status at which he was taken to Mubahala. The result, as you know, and I only wish to say one sentence on it, was that on seeing the faces, no discussion ever started. On merely seeing the faces of those 5 people, the bishop turned round and told his people, we cannot have a mubahala with them, because if they pray to Allah, I can see mountains moving. The calamity, I dare say, is that what that kafir could see, Muslims fail to see in these faces. But that is the status. Indeed, it is said that when they entered, the grouping was, the Holy Prophet was right in front with Imam Hussein in his laps, and Imam Hassan holding his finger, Bibi Fatima right behind him, and Imam Ali alayhi salam right at the end. So you can see the first they encountered and the last they encountered, and decided we will not have a mubahala. That was the extent, the peak of piety of Imam Ali alayhi salam and his excellence in faith. That is what was paramount in Tawheed of Allah. But his excellence was also found in Yemen. I mentioned this very superficially yesterday in dealing with the argument that he was a warrior, not a person who can bring peace. Indeed, one sees that in Makkah, immediately after the conquest of Makkah. But one sees it in the 10th Hijrah. This is the year in which is the last year of the life of the Holy Prophet. Yemen, there was problem. They were not becoming Muslims. The Holy Prophet sent Khalid bin Walid, because Khalid bin Walid was now a Muslim. He remained in Yemen for 6 months. Not one Arab became a Muslim. Not one. Eventually, when the Holy Prophet got that intelligence, he called Khalid back and said, you better return to Medina, and decided that the best course was to send Imam Ali alayhi salam. And of course rumors started that he is a warrior. But Khalid bin Walid was always a warrior, all his life. And Khalid bin Walid remained a warrior even after the Prophet, fought even under the Caliphate. When Imam Ali alayhi salam entered Hamadan, he entered late in the evening, announced he would lead prayers for Fajr prayers. And indeed he was there to lead Fajr prayers. People came to see what he was doing. Of course he was leading his own people, because the Arabs of Yemen, the Yemenis, had not become Muslims. And when they just saw how those Fajr prayers were conducted, when I read that report, I keep asking myself, didn't Khalid bin Walid say his prayers? Didn't he lead his prayers in Yemen? Because the reports are, when they saw that prayer being said, reminds me of what happened when Imam Raza salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi was called upon by Harun Rashid to lead prayers. Those Yemenis, on seeing the Imam Ali lead prayers, came out of their houses to see what was going on. Immediately after prayers, Imam Ali alayhi salam delivered a fantastic khutbah. He explained them of the existence of Allah. He explained them about the Holy Prophet, the importance of bringing faith into Islam. And it is said that on that very day, the entire town of Hamdan became Muslim. Not one person killed, not one drop of blood shed. All of them became Muslims. When the news reached the Holy Prophet, he thanked Allah, and indeed went into sajda to thank Allah, and announced that Hamdan having been brought into Islam, now the entire Yemen will fall into Islam, and so it did. And so it did. But that was the year. And indeed, that episode is also reported in Sunni sources. And I wish to point out to you but one. Tabari, translated into English in volume 9 of Tabari. At page 90, this particular episode of Yemen is sent out. Just to read 2 or 3 sentences, he says, I was one, this is the narrator, who followed Ali. And as we reached the borders of the Yemen, the people got the news. They got around him, and Ali led us in the morning prayers. Led us, because who else? In the morning prayer, when he finished the prayer, he lined us up in one row. Then he moved before us, praised and extolled God, and read to them the letter of the messenger of God. All of Hamdan embraced Islam in one day, and he wrote to the messenger of God about it. When the prophet of God read Ali's letter, he fell down, prostrating himself to God. That is Tabari quoting from Ibn al-Athir in Kamil volume 2. So that is an event well set out in the annals of Muslim history. Well, that then was the year in which the Holy Prophet announced that he will proceed to Mecca to perform his last Hajj, called Hijjatul Wida, and he did. As a consequence of that, huge numbers of Muslims gathered with him, because everybody knew that was the first and last opportunity to see the Holy Prophet conduct himself in a pilgrimage, to see how he performs tawaf, and to see how he undertakes the nights in Arafah and in Mina. When it was all over, well reported that at a place called Khadir, he stopped and invited all people to assemble again. And I will not take you into the events. You can well see that I am only making a reference to that occasion. And it is on that occasion, when he had already announced that he is soon to go, and indeed, very little controversy on that issue, that after Ghadir, in a matter of 2 months or so, the Holy Prophet was martyred. Either it was the 28th of Safar, which is less than 2 months from the 18th of Dhul Hijjah, or 10 days more than 2 months, or the 12th of Rabiul Awwal that followed. But in a matter of about 3 months, the Holy Prophet was martyred. And on that occasion, the words he uttered, lifting Imam Ali alayhi salam, are words too common in these sittings of ours, as much as they are very well common in annals of history, in books of both denominations, the Khassa and the Amma, the Sunnite and the Shiite scripts. The words being, Man kuntu mawlahu fahada aliyun mawla. Hence the importance of those words. But the point I wish to make is that immediately those words were uttered, the first person, according to history, and I have read to you Ibn Abi Hadith, the first person in history, recorded in history, to go and congratulate Imam Ali alayhi salam was Umar. Now the important thing in that matter is the words he used. He says, Bakhin Lakha, Ibn Abi Talib, my congratulations to you, O son of Abi Talib. Sabbahta mawlaya wa mawla kullul mu'minina wal mu'minat. I congratulate you that you have become my mawla, and the mawla of all mu'minin and mu'minat. Right, let us leave the mu'minin and mu'minat aside for a while. Let us deal with him. What would that mean? That today you have become my mawla. It cannot, as Suyuti says, the mawla means, only means a friend. It does not stand examination of the occasion to say that the Holy Prophet assembled the entire congregation that had gone to Hajj, only to tell them that whoever is my friend is a friend of Ali. He had said that on numerous occasions before, at some of the occasions we have considered in these sittings. However, the question is, wasn't Ali a friend of Umar? before that day? Nobody can say that he wasn't. If they were friends, then what else happened on that day that Umar should say him, Asbahta Mawlaya, that today you have become my Mawla? It must mean something more than friends. And if you become friends only, the entire congregation does not go to make bay'ah, because that is what happened. The Holy Prophet asked everybody to make bay'ah of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and so did Umar, being the first of them to make bay'ah. Looked at entirely objectively, it means he accepted allegiance of Imam Ali alayhi salam as the true successor of the Holy Prophet. Quite objectively, quite without reference to sectarianism. The only question perhaps that can trouble the youth today is, did that occasion take place? As I say, the question of succession is determined by us in 5 or 6 different ways, Ghadir being one of them. But Ghadir is significant because, as I hope I shall discuss one of these nights, tomorrow or day after, the importance we Shias attach to an Imam is that he must be a person of Isma, he must be faultless, he must be pure. It should not be possible to find him sinning even in respect of a minor sin. And it should not be possible to see him doing something that is irrational. Well, how is man to determine that? And this mission of the Holy Prophet was not a political mission. It was a religious mission. It is a spiritual institution that he established. It cannot be that that spiritual institution be perpetuated at the hands of humans. And so we claim that only Allah is entitled to nominate who the successor of the Prophet can be. And we have no say in it at all. And for Allah we say that He is أَعْلَمُ حَيْثَ يَجْعَلُ رِسَالَتَهُ. Chapter 6. He is the person who best knows where to deposit his risala, his message, and who should carry it. This is Quran now. And so we say that such a succession can only be at the behest of Allah. If that is so, as Quran itself says, and I hope in a couple of nights I will cite a number of ayahs, 3 or 4 ayahs of Quran to establish this particular point, so that youths have them at hand to use them whenever need occurs, or at least to be sure of their belief, which is perhaps of greater importance in these sittings. Well, in that context then, Allah owes it to human as part of His bounty. We saw this last year, that it is His bounty, as it says in Quran, لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, that He sent the Holy Prophet. And it is also His bounty, His man, that He sent a successor to the Prophet. And it is one of those bounties that He should also appoint a successor before the one who is alive goes. And we will, inshallah, if we discuss Aimah, see this happening in respect of each Imam. And that is why we discussed in 1996 that even when the 12th Imam alayhi salam will come, he too will be questioned. And he will subject himself to questioning, so that people are satisfied that he is the true successor of Imam Hassan Askari, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Well, so it became necessary when the Holy Prophet announced that this is his last pilgrimage, it became necessary that he should also announce who his successor should be. And it is only in keeping with that essence of divine appointment of succession that Ghadir took place. So the only question left then for the youth is, did it take place as it ought to have taken place? And the answer to that is that there is abundance of evidence that it took place. And I do not want to carry you through authority after authority. Suffice it for me to give you a simple solution to this long-winded matter, and it is this, that Mir Ahmad, the English commentary that is found all over the place in our libraries, contains a full list in commentary to chapter 5 verse 67, that ayah of Quran in which Allah says to the Holy Prophet, Ya ayyuhar Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik, wa in lam taf'al fama ballaghta risalata wallahu ya'asibuka minan nas. O Holy Prophet, reach to the people, balligh, that which has been revealed to you, which has been descended unto you. Balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik, from your Lord. And if you don't, it will be as though you have not reached any of his messages. In commentary to that particular verse, which is 67 of Surah Ma'idah, the learned commentator of that particular book sets out 37 names of Sunnite scholars of greatest eminence in the Sunnite world, who have set out this particular episode in their books. Indeed, over 100 companions have reported this particular incident. Over 100 companions. The only argument is whether there are 103 or 110, but at least 100 companions of the Holy Prophet who were present in Ghadir have reported it having occurred. Mir Ahmad reports 37 books in which the episode of Ghadir has been set up. It is not a matter of secret at all. Khawarizmi sets it out from Ibn Sa'id al-Khudri in great details, and that is in his Kifayat al-Talib. Indeed, Abu Huraira sets it out. If he is the person that should be believed, he also has set out the episode of Ghadir and the words. Indeed, one particular work, the Nazm Durar al-Sittain, sets out, it is Kifayat al-Talib again, which sets out a report from a number of companions. Rawa Burida wa Abu Huraira wa Ja'far wa Jabir wa Ibn Azib wa Zayd Ibn Arqam, all of them reporting at a go, which is reported in Kifayat al-Talib, and all of them said that the Holy Prophet gathered them Yawma Ghadir Khum, and there he said, Man kuntu mawlahu fa'aliyun mawla, Allahumma wali man walahu wa adi man adahu wab'adhum la yazid ala man kuntu mawlah fa'aliyun mawla. Be a friend, O Allah, to him who is a friend of Allah, and be an enemy of him who is an enemy. Be a friend of him, O Allah, who is a friend of Ali, and be an enemy of him who is an enemy of Ali. And you show your wrath on one who refuses to say that Ali is his Mawla. These are the words of Abu Huraira about that particular incident. And if you move on, Kanji has reported in exactly those words, at least, Allahumma wali man wala wa adi man ada wa nasara man nasarahu, and help him who helps Ali. Those are the words in Kanji, in Kifayat al-Talib. One finds the words again reported by Abu Huraira in Ansab al-Ashraf, and there again he repeats exactly those words. Man kuntu mawlahu fahada mawla. Exactly those words. And one finds that repeated in a number of other sources. One from Zayd bin Arqam too. And that is reported by reported again in Ansabul Ashraf. Ibn Hajar al-Makki in his work has also reported this. And exactly those words, Man kuntu mawlahu, and then Allahumma wali man walahu wa adi man ada. That hadith to its completion. But then he goes further and says that at least 30 authentic companions whose narration is considered as sahih or ahsan. So these are commentators, these are narrators whose narration is accepted without question, have reported this particular incident. So you can see that Ibn Hajar al-Makki reports that particular incident to that degree of importance. Hence, I say, there can be little doubt left. Indeed, we say there is no doubt left that this particular episode did take place. And if it did take place, then the appointment of Mawla Ali is established beyond question, beyond controversy. How then is it that after him, other people were appointed and became successors to the Holy Prophet? That inshallah we shall get into not in detail, but in some consideration of it tomorrow night. What is lamentable, of course, is that despite all these words of the Holy Prophet in respect of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and despite the prayer, Allahumma wali man walahu, O Allah, be a friend of him who is a friend of Allah, and an enemy of him who is an enemy of Allah, Muslims set out to destroy the household of Imam Ali alayhi salam. When Muslims in Karbala fight the son of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Shahzada Qasim, may Allah bless him unceasingly, when he is in the battlefield, and when Muslims go out to murder him and trample on his body, is that not expressing enmity to the household of Imam Ali? Is that not by itself incurring the wrath of Allah on that occasion, and on occasions always after that day? Indeed, Shahzada Qasim, said to be only 12 or 13 years of age, when he enters the battlefield, he battles with the enemy in a manner in which the enemies become stunned, that how is it that this moonlit face of this youth is able to fight us in this way? Umar ibn Sa'd decides that a great warrior of his time should be sent to fight with Shahzada Qasim. But the warrior says, this is a little boy. He had 4 sons. He sends his youngest son to fight Shahzada Qasim, and Shahzada Qasim deals with him in matters of seconds. He then sends another son. He too is killed. A third son, when all the 4 sons had been killed in that way, he decides that he too himself will go to fight. Imam Hussein alayhi salam is standing at the door of the tent, witnessing how Qasim is fighting this battle with the valor that was reminiscent of the fights of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And suddenly he becomes concerned. The mother of Shah Qasim, Farwa, is watching Imam Hussein alayhi salam all the time. And as Imam Hussein alayhi salam on the successes of Shahzada Qasim was glowing with pleasure, Farwa was also glowing with pleasure, saying that her son is scoring success after success in killing the enemies of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But when Arzaq Shami himself went forward to fight Qasim, Imam Hussein got a little concerned. Farwa sends a message to Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein says, oh Farwa, pray for your son Qasim. Pray for him that Arzaq is now fighting him. Arzaq is known to be a great warrior. And soon Imam Hussein says Allahu Akbar. And Ibn Farwa knows that her prayer was accepted. Her prayer was, oh Allah, give Qasim success over Arzaq. Not only that, but bring him back with success to the tent. She was praying that all the enemies of Imam Hussein be killed by Qasim. Qasim did come back immediately after the battle with Arzaq. Meets Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein hugs Qasim and congratulates him. Qasim says, oh my uncle, if only I could get one drop of water, I would go back and fight with greater valor. I am so thirsty that I am not able to fight because of the thirst killing me. And Imam Hussein says to Qasim, oh Qasim, when you come back after such a valiant fight, your uncle needs to reward you. Alas, Alas, your uncle does not have a glass of water with which to reward you on this particular occasion. Shahzada Qasim goes back and continues his fight. On he fights with other people until a stage comes when he announces to his uncle, Assalamu alayka ya amma adrikni. Salams to my uncle and please come to my help. Imam Hussein goes out at a trampling speed to reach the son of his brother Hassan before he passes away. In the meantime, the warriors of Ibn Ziyad become worried that Hussein will kill them. They start rushing from one corner to the other. In the meantime, they trample over the body of Shahzada Qasim. Indeed, about him it is said, وَقَتَلُوهُ عِرْبًا عِرْبًا. They kill Qasim. Not only did they kill him, but they cut his body. Cut his body into pieces and pieces. Indeed, when Imam Hussein comes to his body, he only conveys regards to his grandfather. When the time comes to take the body to the haram, it is said he could not carry the body because it was pieces. Imam Hussein removes his abba, spreads his abba on the ground of Karbala, takes those pieces from the ground, accumulates those pieces, and then as it were carries the coffin of his nephew straight to the haram, lays it onto the body in the tent of Farwa. Farwa, on seeing the body of Qasim, says, Qasim, I do not mind that they should have killed you. This is your salvation. But to see you cut into such pieces. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة.